We're back for week 3 of the NFL picking against the spread here in Lit Sports Online. Chris, why don't you lead us into it?
All right, so first let's recap after week 2. So after week 2, Gerald led the way again. Gerald went 11-5 with his picks, while me and Justin tied at 8-8. So that brings the overall record for the season right now after week 2. Gerald is 19-11-1. Myself is bringing second with 15-14-1. And Justin close behind at 13-17-1. So easily this could be flip-flopped after week 3, depending on the picks that we're making now. So,
hey, maybe I should start following my picks.
Hey, Gerald's on pace to be the pick champion 2 straight years, but...
2!
A lot could change between now and week 17, right?
Exactly.
Going back to back.
Too many games to determine that. But we'll start with the Thursday night game. We have LA going to San Francisco. So, obviously, interdivision rivals. We have San Francisco at a +3 at home. Justin, we'll lead off with you with your throwback Steven Jackson jersey.
Well, I can't blame Well, hold on. You said San Fran's +3, right?
San Fran's +3 at home.
Yeah, I can't blame someone for picking San Fran here with the +3 at home, but, I just feel like the Rams should be able to handle this. Now, I could see a situation where maybe the 3 points factors in, but I'll go ahead and pick the Rams, say they win by a touchdown.
I'm gonna go with San Francisco on this one. Every dog has his day, and I just don't like you. I'm just kidding. I love you, man. No, but seriously, I just don't see. I think honestly with this spread, it is a really close spread. It could go either way. I think you were saying before the show that San Francisco has LA's number more times than not in this whole series. So I'm gonna go with San Francisco right here and play home.
Yeah, I want to go with San Fran at home. I feel like LA played a great Week 1 game. They came back down to earth when they played Washington and lost that one. But I mean, even when you look at it, their offense still moved the ball. Todd Gurley went off, so I'm gonna go with the Rams here. I don't know if it's by a touchdown, maybe like a 17-13 game. Yeah. I think it's low scoring, maybe 20-10, something like that.
Guys, this is the first time we've had a split decision on the Thursday night game.
Wow. And
the times we were in agreement, we were almost
So, do you think a majority of the squad will lose, or what?
we all picked the Patriots, they got beat down.
Yeah.
We all picked the Bengals, they got beat down.
Yeah, so...
Or couldn't move the ball, I should
We'll
say.
see what happens this week, who will get it.
Right, so then that leads us into a 9 a.m. game to start off the Sunday night games. We have Baltimore, technically the away team in Jacksonville, but it's at Wembley Stadium in London. Jacksonville's played there before. Baltimore is a -3, technically on the road. Justin?
God, that's just not wide enough of a spread. I mean, I would have loved to take Jacksonville if it's like +10 Jacksonville, but that close, I'm going with the Ravens.
Yeah, I'm going to echo what he said. I mean, it's a really close spread. Not to mention, Baltimore's playing lights-out defense. Yes, they lost Marshall Yanda. Yes, the offense hasn't been as spectacular, but the defense is keeping them in games. As long as the offense can manage the ball just a bit, keep the clock moving, this is an easy win for Baltimore. I'm going with them.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Baltimore.
You got unanimous, man.
I've learned my lesson to not bet against them. If you know, last week I picked the Browns to cover the spread, in which they didn't. I was the only dumbass that picked that. But I'm going to go with Baltimore in this one. Like you said, I just think their defense is playing lights out. Yeah. Jacksonville, while they are, obviously a good defense, you still have to deal with that shaky offense. The receiver, Allen Robinson, is out.
Yeah, he's done for the year.
Allen Robinson's done for the year, so you're going to look to Marquise Lee and Allen Hurns, and I just don't think it's enough.
I mean, let's be honest here. This is a Baltimore defense I haven't seen in a while. I mean, I'm so used to them playing 3 great quarters of defense, and the fourth quarter is going flat. But no, they're closing games out. I mean, man, I don't want to jinx them, but...
They are playing good. So then it leads us into an NFC East matchup. We have the New York Giants going to Philly. New York is a +3.5 on the road. We've all seen what the Giants haven't been able to do with no Odell first week and kind of like a banged up one in the second week. Justin, how do you feel about this matchup?
I'm going to go with the hotter team here and take Philly. I just feel like they're performing better early in the season. And then Odell, while he's expected to play, probably not going to be 100%. Just not a whole lot to like about the Giants right now.
I mean, I don't think the Giants have a line strong enough to protect Eli. And like I said, the Eagles have looked good, pretty good recently. Not to mention, again, Odell, is he healthy? I think that's going to be one of the biggest questions and probably determine the game, honestly, because there is no other player more important to any team other than the quarterback than Odell Beckham. So I for sure think I'm going with the Eagles on this one.
Yeah, like Justin said, I just can't find anything to like about the New York Giants right now when it comes, and the main thing is to me is the offensive line. When you give Eli Manning about 0.5 seconds to throw the ball, he won't even be able to get it to Odell. So I just feel like with them not even be able to move the ball down the field, Philly's defense is better than what Dallas's defense was, and it's more sturdy than what Detroit's was, and I just feel like this matchup is easily favored toward Philadelphia. I'm going to take him maybe even by a touchdown. All right. So then that leads us into an AFC matchup. We have Houston coming off of a Thursday night win against Cincinnati, going to New England. Houston is a plus 11 on the road in Foxborough. We all see what Tom Brady did to the Saints last week. I was the dumbass that picked Drew Brees. I thought it was going to happen, but Justin, how do you feel about this plus 11 on the road for Houston?
Oh goodness! I mean, I guess I'll take Houston. I mean, the plus 11's a wide spread. They do have a defense, so I mean, yeah, it could be. Think of it this way: New England wins by 10. I still win the bet. So I'm going to take the Texans, see what happens.
Hold on.
Before me interject, because we all did pick the New York Jets last week at a plus 14.
That's right, but the Jets are the worst team in the league, pretty much. So I mean,
and Oakland beat them about 24-28. So.
I got one question: are you smoking dope? It's Tom Brady at home, man. For the sake of my fantasy team, he's going to go
on. When he played the Chiefs,
because they were in Foxborough when they played the Chiefs.
The Chiefs are a legitimate team. This is the Houston Texans.
They have a defense.
Serious?
They have a defense.
Are you serious?
Well, technically, every team has a defense.
Every team has a defense. Whether they show up is the question.
They have a defense worthy of starting in fantasy. All right,
well, they ain't got a defense worthy of stopping Tom Brady at home, and he's going off. I'm going with the Patriots, man.
Well, we know, obviously, Gerald's biased. He's starting Tom Brady again.
I want him to get me some points.
In his fantasy. I think I'm going to roll with New England on this one just because while Houston's defense is good, I feel like the reason why the Chiefs won is because they were able to move the ball down the field on offense. I look at, Houston, and I just don't see them. Even although, they have DeAndre Hopkins, I just feel like he hasn't or can't be utilized to his potential right now. So I'm going to go with New England. I want to say by like 2 touchdowns, maybe 13 points, but we'll see what happens. Yeah. Maybe some early snow. I don't know. But we'll go
like
into
a hurricane riding the coast.
Wide margin of safety. That's all I'm going to say.
Wide margin of safety. Ass back to the back of the standings in this game.
It's going to be a wide margin of safety when Tom Brady's throwing it past the safety.
Oh, whatever.
But we have an NFC matchup. We have Atlanta, 2-0 Atlanta, going on the road to Detroit. Obviously, Detroit is 2-0 as well. Played a good game against the Giants last week. So Atlanta is -3 on the road, or obviously Detroit is +3 at home. Justin, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this one.
So let me get this straight. Lions are at home and they get a +3.
Yeah, they're playing the Atlanta Falcons.
Lions all the way on this one, man. I just feel like the Falcons' defense, I feel like came into this year a little overrated. Like people thought that their defense is really good. Wow. No, I don't. I think it's a wash comparing these two defenses. To be honest with you, and I just feel like the Lions with that +3, I like that.
I mean, it's definitely going to be a close game. I mean, again, Detroit, look, their defense looked really good last week. And again, this is, of course, against a Giants team who isn't exactly as amazing as the Atlanta Falcons.
Right.
But it's going to be a very close game. Honestly, I'm going to say, for the sake of just disagreeing, I'm going to go with Atlanta, even though I want to see my boy Ziggy Ansah on Detroit go hard. Because he was up in Eli Manning's face.
He definitely was. And I want to go with Detroit so bad just because I do like Matt Stafford just as a person. I feel like if he was on a different team to start his career, he would have been 10 times better. Put in the right system or, where he didn't have to switch offensive coordinators or head coaches half the time. But I feel like the offensive coordinator, Jim Bob Cooter, is good. I want to pick Detroit so bad. I'm going to roll with Atlanta just for the sole purpose of their offense alone. The two-headed monster that they got in the backfield with Freeman and Coleman. And I don't see anybody stopping Julio.
No.
I said this last week. I was watching the game by myself. That's sad, but I said to myself out loud, Julio to me is the number one receiver in the NFL. No ifs, ands, or buts. While Antonio Brown has quickness on him, nobody sizes up a defender like Julio. Nobody can get him off him like that. So I'm going to roll with Atlanta on the road. I think maybe by a touchdown. All right. So then that's going to go to an AFC matchup. We have Denver, who just came off of destroying my Dallas Cowboys at home.
Just mollywop.
They really did. They really did. Going to Buffalo. Now, this is strange because as of right now, and obviously these spreads are right now, they could change up until game time. Denver is a -1 on the road. Now, I'm just looking at the spread, so I'm not sure if there's any injuries that I don't know about or anything like that. But Buffalo is +1 at home. Technically, you can wash it unless the game ends in a tie after overtime. But Justin, I would think this would be a pretty easy pick.
Yeah, I'm going Denver -1. I mean, look at the fact that the Bills just I don't think they have a deep threat in their offense, really. Like, now that they don't have Watkins, and Jordan Matthews is a fine receiver, but I think he's more of like an intermediate route guy. I don't think he gets deep. Yeah. They don't have anyone that can go deep. McCoy's a fine running back, but I think when you compare these two teams, it's pretty clear that Denver's the safer choice.
Yeah, with that many holes in offense, Denver's defense is going to eat on Sunday. They are going to eat. Just like they ate your running back.
Yeah, they might put up because LaShawn McCoy last week I think had like 9 or 10 yards as well. So he might be looking like another one of those weeks. Yeah. But I think the easiest pick is Denver here. I mean, I don't, like I said, I'm not sure as far as the spread, if there's any injuries I don't know about at the moment, but -1 on the road it seems like nothing to me. So I'm gonna go with Denver by at least maybe even 2 scores.
Denver across the board here.
Yep.
Yeah.
So then that leads us into a AFC NFC matchup. We have Pittsburgh on the road going to Chicago. Chicago is a +7.5 at home. Justin, you made some curious comments about the Bears last week. You did pick the Bears to cover, and you did lose that one.
Probably my dumbest pick of that week.
It was a very large spread. I'll give you that. It was like 11 or 12 or 13.
No, I think it was only like 5.5. So I looking back on it, I don't know why I made that.
Oh,
pick,
it was. They did play the Bucks, and it was +6, I think. Yeah.
So as I was saying before the show, I actually picked Pittsburgh in survival football on Yahoo this week to beat the Bears, and 7.5 is a nice spread, but there's nothing like about the Bears right now. I'm gonna take the Steelers.
Yeah, I mean it's the Steelers. Ravens fans know 2 times a year how hard they go, and it's Chicago. I mean, there's nothing really good to say about them 100%, so I'm going with the Steelers. They're going away. They're going to win.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Steelers on this one. And like I said, I just don't like anything about Chicago at the moment. I think Mitch Trubisky will be good, but just not right this year.
Not yet.
So then it leads us into an AFC matchup. We have the Miami Dolphins, who just came off of a win against the Los Angeles Chargers, which pick we all got wrong. We all took the Chargers that week. So Miami going to New York as far as the Jets. Miami is a -3.5 on the road.
Yeah, you got to give me a wider margin to pick the Jets. I'm going to take the Dolphins. Yeah, I'm not big on Cutler, but I mean, this is a team that just came off of beating the Chargers, so I have confidence that they'll be able to beat the Jets.
Yeah, I mean, this is the hot team right now, so I'm going with Miami. They just came off win. It is the Jets. I mean, the Jets, in the offseason, they had to bench their quarterback because he didn't know how to call a huddle. So if that doesn't show you the state of that organization, I don't know what does. I refuse to pick them this week. I don't even care if it's against Jay Cutler. Nah, Miami.
Yeah, there's 2 teams I'm never picking again, which is the Jets, which we all picked last week to cover a 14 spread, against the Raiders, which easily got covered by the Raiders. But, yeah, I'm never betting on the Jets or the Cardinals ever again in the season. I don't care who they play. I'm going to go with Miami. I am starting Miami's defense this week. As far as fantasy football goes, I have Minnesota as well as Miami. But Miami's definitely going to just overwhelm the Jets, I think. Too many questions on that whole team. As far as they're sacrificing basically their whole 2017 for a brighter future, I just don't think they're going to be able to do anything.
And plus, I don't feel like the home field advantage really helps the Jets because probably half their stadium's empty.
Yeah. It's going to be a quiet game.
Yeah, that's just that you raise a good point right there. I didn't even think about that one. So that'll lead us into what's known as a pick'em game, where there is no spread. Cleveland going to Indy. So again, we have two D2 AA college football teams here.
Yeah,
so it's basically a pick'em. Cleveland's 0-2. Indy is 0-2. I guess it's what you like most about the worst team.
I'm going with Cleveland. I actually picked up the Cleveland defense in our league for this week.
Oh, there goes your game.
I don't have much faith in the Colts offense right
Justin
now.
Justin loves the waiver wire.
Loves it.
Love my waiver wire defense.
He always knows something we don't.
But
is he undefeated still? I don't know.
No,
Did he get
no,
beat last week?
I'm
Okay.
I'm defeated.
But the Browns... Yeah, throw out all your brownie jokes, but this year they're going to be better than last year, I still think, and I like them for this game.
Well, they could be better than last year and win 4 games.
I like them for this game.
No, I agree with Justin, actually. There's a lot of youth on that team. Again, they are, I swear to God, they're a freshman football team. You know, there's a lot of youth on that team. Hopefully that can change the culture in Cleveland. I think this might be a good win, a good confidence builder. Only to probably get slapped down next week on whoever they play. But, I think Cleveland this week.
At home, I'm taking Indy just for the sole purpose of Jacoby Brissett had a short week to prepare. So I'm going to go with him. I just feel like Cleveland, in certain situations, finds ways to lose games. They just do. I feel like even when they were playing the Ravens, they were down a touchdown, they were down 10 points. They got the ball back, and they found a way just to give it back up. So I feel like when given opportunities to take advantage of it, you have to. I'm going to go with Indy at home, maybe just because it is at home.
Yeah.
Like I said, Jacoby Brissett has another week to mesh with that offense. Frank Gore, while he's a subtle back, he still puts up numbers. I mean, he has a touchdown, I believe, in both weeks, about 40 or 50 yards each one. I would know I benched him both weeks. Got more than what I started. But, yeah, I'm going to go with Indy on this one.
Okay.
Then that brings us into an NFC matchup. We have New Orleans going to Carolina. Now, this is a tricky one because we're not too sure what New Orleans can do as far as sustain an offense and sustain a defense, more importantly. But we have New Orleans on the road in Carolina at a +5.5. So Carolina obviously would have to win by 6 or a touchdown.
I'll go with New Orleans +5.5. Reason being that I feel like Cam Newton's probably still not 100% recovered from his shoulder problem.
You can tell.
And, I mean, I don't know, dude. Like, when you give the Saints +5.5, they better be playing like an elite team. That's the way I look at it. So, I'll take them here.
Yeah, I think they need the confidence booster. I think they're going to come in. I think they're going to be playing for chip on their shoulder. They got embarrassed last week. And I think they're going to take it to Carolina. Again, Cam Newton, not 100%. So I think, honestly, New Orleans can definitely seize the moment here and pick up a victory.
Yeah, I think Carolina's relying too much heavy on the run game right now due to Cam Newton not being 100%. And if you remember last week when I picked Drew Brees and the Saints, they were only a +6.5 at home against New England. So you talk about an elite team. We're only talking about an extra point here that they're taking away. So I'm going to go with New Orleans on this one. I might even pick them to win. I think that they're going to play him really well. Like I said, I think Drew Brees needs to have a bounce-back game. So I'm going to go with New Orleans.
Yeah.
All right. Then it leads us into another NFC matchup. So we have Tampa Bay currently at 1-0. Obviously, they had a bye week 1 with Miami. Tampa Bay is on the road in Minnesota. It is another pick'em game due to the fact, most likely, that Sam Bradford is probably not playing once again. So, Justin, how do you feel about this one? I'm kind of torn on this one at the moment.
Yeah, this is actually a tough one just because, again, the uncertainty over Minnesota's QB situation. I actually heard that Sam Bradford probably isn't going to play, but it's still up in the air. I'll go with Tampa. I think that, they're coming off a nice win. Mm-hmm. Granted, it's against a trash team, but I don't know. If Case Keenum's out there, I just don't see the Vikings winning. So it really... and Bradford, if he does play, is going to be hurt, so...
Yeah, like I said, this depends on how healthy Bradford is if he plays. And in the world of betting, I'm not going to rely on ifs. So, yeah, I'm going with Tampa.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Tampa on this one. I just, like I said, the whole uncertainty about Minnesota's offense. I do like Dalvin Cook as far as the run game. I do like their defense. But like you said, Gerald said that Tampa Bay has something to prove. Even though they played Chicago last week, I still think they came out firing. I think they're going to do it again.
Mm-hmm.
So that leads us into an interesting matchup that I'm actually excited to see this game. We have Seattle going on the road to Tennessee. Now, obviously, we know Seattle's questions with offensive line, not protecting Russell Wilson. And I believe they have scored in 2 games. They've scored 1 touchdown, I believe, and that was last week against the Niners. But we have Seattle at a -2.5 on the road, so indicating they have to win by a field goal. Now, obviously, just to preface this, DeMarco Murray for the Titans did not practice this week, and they say will not practice, bothered a hamstring. So it looks like it's going to be Derrick Henry the full week. So
Titans are +2.5 here at home.
At home,
Taking the Titans. I just look at the fact that Seattle doesn't have an offensive line worthy of mention. They're rolling it. I guess they're rolling out Chris Carson as their starting running back now.
Looks like it.
I don't think he's really all that. So I mean, it really just comes down to: do you think the Seattle defense is going to just destroy this week? And I don't see it happening. So I like the Titans as the better team here. And even in a straight up, I'd probably still take the Titans.
Yeah, even without DeMarco Murray, I mean, they still have Marcus Mariota. The boy's got wheels.
Yep.
I think he's going to have a good day against this defense. And again, Seattle's offensive line. I mean, no.
Right.
Just no. So, again, I'm going Tennessee this week.
Yeah, I think if it was in Seattle, I'd go with them. Still with the same spread, but I'm going to go with Tennessee on here. Like I said, I just have too many questions about Seattle as far as an offensive line. Their defense is stout, but like you said, I think Mario is going to be able to find some holes in it. And regardless of DeMarco Murray being out or having less touches, I think they'll be fine.
Yeah, I don't think DeMarco Murray being out even hurts them. I mean, DeMarco Murray is better in the passing game than Derrick Henry, but as far as runners, they're about the same quality. So I don't think it really hurts them that much.
So then it leads us into an AFC West matchup. We have Kansas City on the road in LA facing Phillip Rivers and the Chargers. LA is a +3 at home. Justin.
Okay, so LA +3 against 2 again.
Kansas City at home.
Yeah, I'll take LA Chargers here +3. Like we mentioned before, Eric Berry out for the year. Some defense woes for the Chiefs. You wonder if this is the game that Kareem Hunt comes back down to earth, possibly. I just like the Chargers here. I got a feeling.
I like Kansas City's offense. I like Kareem Hunt. I like Alex Smith. I think he's a good quarterback. And I think he's finally found his team and system. I'm just not convinced on the Chargers. I mean, honestly, historically, they just always find a way to screw it up at the end anyways. So why not start in the beginning? Kansas City covers the spread.
Yeah, despite my love for Phillip Rivers and just like what he's about and how he plays the game and the type of passer and quarterback he is, I'm going to roll with Kansas City on this one. Like I said, I like their offense. I like the short, intermediate pass game. I like the run game. And even when they have to go deep, they did. They did it against New England. Start the second half, they did show that they at least have that threat in them. But I'm going to roll with Kansas City on this one in this AFC West matchup. I say LA goes 0-3 to start the year.
Be pretty crazy if they did.
But it's not it's unbelievable.
It wouldn't be the first time for Phillip Rivers. So then that leads us into an AFC-NFC matchup. We have Cincinnati, who we've all seen them play, going to Green Bay. Now, Cincinnati is a +7.5 in Lambeau.
Hold up, what they think they're going to establish some offense? Like, do they think they're even going to maintain a game with them with this, man?
We'll see. I mean, it's a large spread. I mean, you're indicating that they're going to win by 2 scores, or obviously,
fraudulent.
But we'll see, Justin. I'm curious.
So, Andy Dalton is on my bench in both fantasy leagues right now. I do have him on both my teams.
Your fantasy team sucks, dude.
You should keep him there.
Yeah, just keep him there.
And this could be the game the Bengals start showing some signs on offense, but with that spread, it's got to be a little higher than that to entice me. Dalton's got to show it first, all right? He hasn't shown anything yet. So it really comes down to, do you want to bet on the team that hasn't shown the signs of life yet? And I'm not ready to do that, so I'm going to go with the Packers.
I'm not going to pick Sheamus from the WWE to win a game, so I'm going to Green Bay Packers. Yeah, that was a ginger joke. I'm going with Green Bay. Cincinnati's they're fraudulent. I mean, they're about as bad as the Browns, and I mean, if there was a way the 2 teams could probably tie 2 games in a row, it would probably be those 2. No, No, man, get this out of here. No, it's
Yeah.
Green Bay.
I'm going to go with Green Bay at home. I feel like they got shown up last week against Atlanta, and there's two reasons why I do not like Cincinnati. One, Andy Dalton, I think he's still getting breastfed by Marvin Lewis just because I've seen him play, and he doesn't audible. He doesn't, read defenses, And two, it pisses me off that his hair is orange and their uniforms are orange. That just makes me so mad. When he takes off his helmet.
It's a color rush thing, man.
Please, no. Wear the all-white uniforms then, because it makes me cringe when he takes off his helmet and I see his orange hair on the orange jersey. So I'm going to go with Green Bay here, at least by 10. I feel like they have to show up this week. I feel like Aaron Rodgers got something to prove. I think it's going to be the one where he throws 3 touchdowns in the first half.
If this was a plus 10 or more, I probably would pick the Bengals.
I would
still wouldn't pick them. No, still wouldn't.
But I'm not going to pick them at 7.5.
No, like Justin said, I'm not picking Cincinnati unless they actually show anything, and they have. And you have 2 weapons or 1 huge weapon.
They didn't score a touchdown week 1, man. They ain't showing nothing.
They played 2 solid defenses, though, so this is going to be interesting if they actually get something
You should
going.
be able to kick a field goal, damn.
Well, Green Bay's defense, while it is obviously no Texans and no Ravens, they do play the new Nitro defense, which I think works out for their personnel, but we'll see what happens, but I think Green Bay easily covers.
Easily.
So then it leads us into another AFC-NFC matchup for the Sunday night game. We have Oakland going to Washington. Oakland is currently minus 2.5 on the road, indicating they have to win by a field goal. So Washington is technically plus 2.5 at home. Justin, how do you feel?
I will take the Redskins at home with the plus 2.5. Seeing some weird looks over here, but hey. I was high on this team coming into the season.
You're definitely high.
You're still
You're
high.
definitely high.
They just came off of beating my Rams. They're at home. What's
still
not to
high.
like?
So because they beat the Rams, that gives them the edge over Carr and the Oakland Raiders. Man, get out of here. Oakland's winning.
Yeah.
Enough said.
Yeah, enough said. Oakland's easily covering this. I feel like easily covering this.
Still
I feel like Josh Norman is going to have fits. This defense is going to have fits with Marshawn Lynch. This defense is going to have fits with Amari Cooper and Michael Crabtree. So I just feel like Oakland, I think Oakland should be minus 4. But I just don't see Oakland having any trouble.
Man, if we
Split decision.
If we started piss testing for LitTube based on Justin's picks, you would be fired.
He wouldn't be on the panel anymore.
You would be fired.
Alrighty, so that leads us into the last game of Week 3. We have Dallas going to Arizona. I've already said at the beginning of the episode I'm not picking Arizona for the rest of the year. Dallas is a minus 3.5 on the road. Justin, how do you feel about this one?
Well, I will say that last week I was made to feel like a joker for picking the Denver Broncos to beat the Dallas Cowboys on this table.
Tell me
I was
how
right.
Tell me how you really feel.
But for this week, I am taking the Dallas
how
Cowboys.
long do you think it took him to make up the joke?
Because
he's been rehearsing that.
The Cardinals don't have David Johnson. They have an old quarterback, an old lead receiver, and their defense hasn't been all that impressive either so far. So I like the Cowboys here.
Yeah, Dallas is gonna get it. They came off an embarrassment last week.
All right.
Well, it's nice to see you back on social media.
I appreciate that. I had to wait a day or two.
Yeah, right. Dallas fans, you can return to social media because your team is going to get a win because Zeke is going to eat this week against Arizona. Arizona is the retirement home of the NFL right now, currently with Carson Palmer and Fitzgerald, and I do not see them accomplishing much this week.
Yeah, public service announcement to all my friends and family. I just had my phone on airplane mode for the past 2 days after Sunday's game against Denver. But I'm back. I think Dallas easily takes care of this game. Like I said, if you're not a Dallas fan, I advise you not to watch it. They're just going to run the ball heavy. I think Zeke's going to get out about over 100 yards. They're just going to pound the rock. Like you said, they came off an embarrassment. I think the offensive line has something to prove. You can say that Dak got shown up. You can say Zeke got stumped, but it all starts in the trenches. It all starts with the offensive line. They really got shown up, and I feel like they ate a piece of that humble pie, and they're going to go on the road in Arizona and just show them I think they may even win by 10 points, but who knows? But I got them easily covering the spread.
So y'all ain't them boys this week, but next week y'all be them boys.
Look.
Y'all still them boys?
Look.
Cool?
I'm ride or die with them. I was there. I was watching the game last week, so I was obviously fans with them through thick and thin. But I just think that coming off of a bounce back game against a really tough defense, facing a mediocre one, and an offense that, like Justin said, is a little bit on the older side.
Yeah.
I just don't see them losing this game.
No.
And there's just no momentum for the Cardinals coming off an overtime win against JV high school team Indianapolis Colts. So,
and the Indianapolis Colts really gave him that game. Jacoby Brissett threw him a pick after the Cardinals had punted.
Yeah, that shouldn't have been a game they probably shouldn't even have won. I mean,
yeah, if you think about all Jacoby Brissett has moved the ball 35 yards down the field, and they line up for the game-winning field goal, and the Colts win, and the Cardinals are 0-2. But like I said, I'm not picking Arizona. But like I said, I think the panel across the board is going to go with Dallas on this one.
yeah, Dallas for prime time.
Right. So that wraps up Week 3. Please, guys, if you disagree with any of the picks, predictions, jokes, or comments we made, please put it in the comment section. We would love to interact with you guys. We want to debate. We want to know what you think. And obviously, we'll keep you updated next week's episode as far as our records, where we are standing-wise for the rest of the season.
Yeah, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow us all over social media, and have a good week.